Shalom. Call Loyum wa Kabal la Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Aruchakwadash. The double understood elder apostles of the great Muslim who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations unto the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. This is from the Christian Post. All right, for you Christians out there. All right, now I took this link from this other site that I normally go through. It's called endtimeheadlines.org, in which they post current up to date things that's going on in the earth, as it relates to the Bible, in which some of these Edomite Christian scholars and certain pastors, some of them at least are aware and know that we're in a time of Bible prophecy. And that's, one of the major focuses is, looking at everything going on around the world and all around us and channeling it through Bible prophecy. Because, we all know that the Lord, he declared the end from the beginning. And, everything that he spoke, he's bringing it to pass. So anyway, this headline that caught my eyes, and so I just decided to go into it and read it. But this is from a pastor, a female pastor, and you see the headline. It says ELCA pastor claims Jesus, which we know that's not the Lord's name, screwed up, called woman seeking help the B word. And you gotta be out your mind if you think the Lord ever screwed up in any kind of way. We know the Lord did no sin. All right, he was without blemish. He was perfect, and that's why he was the perfect sacrifice for Israel. All right, so I don't know where you could find fault in anything the Lord did. How he moved, things that he said. But let's see what this Edomite pastor, which, she's out of order anyway, because we know what the scriptures say concerning a woman trying to teach. Pursuant to 1 Timothy, the 2nd chapter, as well as 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter, a woman is not supposed to speak in the church. She's supposed to learn in silence with all subjection. So you already know she's clearly out of order. And this is probably coming from that, feminist mindset. A lot of these current modern women have, that feminist mindset, But anyway, I'm going to just read through some of it, and I'm going to definitely, give my response and go into the scriptures. And I already knew off top, when I read the heading, I already knew where she was going with it. I was like, yeah, she's talking about when the Lord came across that Syro-Phoenician woman, whose daughter had demons on her, and she desperately called for the Lord to heal her daughter, and the Lord, tested her character and her faith to see what she would say in that moment, which was the real reason why the Lord, said what he said to her. But we're gonna get to it. So I'm reading. It says, a Lutheran minister claimed in a recent sermon that Yahushai, who was holy and never sinned, screwed up and called a woman a B in her retelling of a biblical story that some have decried as blasphemous. In which, I don't see how the Lord screwed up. All right, because it's even in the scriptures, which, a lot of you Christians, you probably wouldn't know it's in the scriptures because you don't subscribe to the Apocrypha being the inspired word of the Most High that is, is valid. But if you go into the book of Ecclesiasticus, as a matter of fact, let me go to it. Let's go to Bible Gateway. And it's already in the G&T Good News Translation. We're going to go to Ecclesiasticus or Sirach The was it the 25th chapter? Or it might be the 26th chapter. Let me see. Let's go to the 26th chapter. You already know where I'm going with this. Sirach 26 and I'll start at verse 24. It says, a shameless wife enjoys making a disgrace of herself, but a modest wife will act modestly even alone with her husband. A self-willed woman is a bitch. All right, so the Bible is right in the Bible. All right, all you got to do is read this in the Good News translation. Now, in the King James version, it says that a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, and we all know a female dog is referred to as a bitch. So, calling a woman who has no shame is is very self-willed, very bold, audacious. She has no decency. She has no respect. The Bible calls her a bitch. So you're going to get offended at that, then get offended at the truth. All right, it says, but a woman with a sense of decency honors the Lord. All right, so going back, so now we understand, when the Lord, came to that woman, that Syro-Phoenician woman, he was only testing her character to see if which the Lord already knew in the spirit, that, she was a humble woman and she was in need at the moment. But a message was conveyed, right then and there. Because, the disciples, they were trying to, get the Lord to, send her away. They were like, hey, man, she's begging after us, man. And the Lord said, I'm not sent, but after the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Proving in that moment when the Lord said that the woman that he came across, she had to have been an Israelite, which you got certain dudes in Israel of the circumcision that teach that she was a heathen. That wasn't a heathen. That was an Israelite woman. All right, but we're going to get into the story. So let me finish this real quick. It says, speaking in a chapel service at the ELCA affiliated Augsburg University in Minneapolis, Minnesota on March 11, a self-described pastrix, the Reverend Andrea Ross Metcalf, drew from Mark 7, verse 24 through 30, explaining that the passage was her favorite Bible story because it was an example of Yahushai humanity in which the anointed screws up bigger here than in any story I know. Where did he screw up at? That I mean, but like I said, this is the reason why, it was commanded, for order's sake, for women to keep silence in the church. It was not permitted for them to speak, because the Lord is not the author of confusion, man. All right, so this right here, like there was no. I mean, what do you mean screwing up? He didn't screw up by saying what he said to that woman. All right, but let's read a little more. It says, the story remains her favorite because of the Syro-Phoenician woman's purported improv skills, she said. In exchange, the woman falls at Yahushai's feet while he's in the region of Tyre and Zidon, and she begs him to heal her daughter who is demon-possessed. The anointed Mashiach responds, let the children be filled first, for it is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. The Syro-Phoenician woman then replies, yes, Lord, yet even the little dogs under the table eat from the children's crumbs. Yahushai then says, for this saying, go your way, the demon has gone out of your daughter. Ross Metcalf described this exchange by explaining how the desperate woman had nothing to lose, so she asks Yahushai to heal her daughter, and Yahushai responds by calling her a bee, she claimed. So I don't see how that's an example of the Lord screwing up. Now, when you read the account in Matthew's account, which was one of the disciples. Let's go to Matthew 15. Start at the 23rd verse. Actually, 21. Matthew 15, verse 21, it says, Then Yahushua went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan, meaning she lived in, Canaan, in the Tyre, Zidon region, all right, which there were Israelites that was living up there. We was all over. Came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. Now, how would she have known him to be the son of David if she wasn't an Israelite? Because it was prophesied that he would come through the loins of David. Only Israelites would have known that. So she had to have been an Israelite. And I always make mention of this, when I touch on this topic. She referred to him as the son of David. All right. So basically the Lord, is getting ready to toy with her, just to see where her spirit is at, where her, test her character and also, and mostly her faith. Right. So this is what this is their exchange. It says, My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. So basically, if you read between the lines, she was constantly bugging Yahushua. She was getting on their nerves. She showed importunity, which, when you go into it, that word importunity or being importunate, which is actually in the scriptures, the Lord actually uses that term. I believe it's in Luke 11. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, bear with me while I look for it. It might be in another chapter. Yep, so I passed it, Salakia. My eyes be tripping on this little phone. Luke 11. Let me start up, so. Because this was actually after the Lord recited the Lord's Prayer. Luke 11 and I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, And he said unto them, Which of you shall have a friend and shall go unto him at midnight and say unto him, Friend, lend me 3 loaves, for a friend of mine in his journey has come to me, and I have nothing to set before him. And he came from within shall answer and say, Trouble me not, the door is now shut, and my children are with me in bed. I cannot rise and give thee. I say unto you, though he will not rise and give him, because he is his friend, yet because of his importunity, he will rise and give him as many as he needeth. And I say unto you, ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be open unto you. So basically, don't be weary to ask the Lord. Because the Lord said, if any man asks of anything in my name, that will I do, that I may go to the Father, man. All right. So when you look up that word importunity, because that's what his friend showed in his example. And it says here, shamelessness, impudence. All right. Of an importunate man persisting in his irretreaties. All right. Let's look that up in the Google. And it says persistent, especially to the point of annoyance or intrusion. All right. So somebody that's just, I'm not going to stop. Okay. Persistent, insistent, tenacious, persevering. All right. So now you get it. So that's even how we got to be in our prayer, man. Give the Lord no rest. When you make supplication to the Lord, you're actually begging him. So the Lord saw the humility in this woman because she was actually begging him, and she actually believed that he being the son of the Most High had the power to heal. So she came directly to the physician and asked, "Hey, can you heal my daughter? She has a demon, thou son of David," right? And here's the Lord's response, after the disciples got annoyed and said, "Hey, man, get her out of here, man." Verse 24, but he answered and said, "I am not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." Then came she and worshipped him, saying, "Lord, help me." So she's still begging him. But he answered and said, "It is not meet, it's not good to take the children's bread." And this is, the Lord is using, a metaphor here. We know that this represents the gospel, the word, which is very sacred. And to cast it to dogs. One thing about dogs is dogs, you throw anything in their face, they're going to play with it. They're going to, tear it to pieces. Like a beast, like a beast would normally would. All right, so this gospel, this truth, this whole thing that we're a part of is a sacred thing. And so it's not, people are not worthy. Certain people are just not worthy of this. 2/3 of our people, they're not worthy of it. That's why we don't waste our time with them. Or the Lord also said, cast not, give not which is holy to the dogs, neither cast you your pearl before swine. Let's go there real quick. In other words, don't give this to somebody that ain't worthy. Like them wicked scribes and Pharisees, they wasn't worthy. That's why the Lord took the kingdom from them and gave it to them, bringing forth fruits. He gave it to by the grace, of course, to the Israelite foreigners, the Gentiles. Because them wicked scribes and Pharisees, them hypocrites, they wasn't worthy. Matthew 7:6, it says, "Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast you your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you." So they'll treat it as an unholy thing and do whatever they will with it and turn around and attack you like a straight up beast. You had who was it? Both Jude and Peter referred to them as brute beasts that speak evil of the things that they don't understand, man. As natural men, because those men were very their mind and conscience was defiled. There's nothing like it says in Titus, to the believing all things are pure, but to the unbelieving is nothing pure. But their mind and conscience is defiled, man. All right, so this is to be given to reprobates. Or you go to that word dog. I believe it's the word is kuan. Yeah, kuan. And it says down here, a dog, metaphorically, a man of impure mind, an impudent man. All right, and somebody that's impudent is somebody that just they're very irreverent. No modesty, no shame, no fear. All right, not showing due respect for another person, impertinent. And one of those terms here is shameless. And what did it say back in Sirach 26 concerning a woman that's shameless? A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. All right, immodest, a woman that won't show any modesty. So you could say that a lot of these women here in Babylon, this is what they are. No shame at all, man. They rap about it. Every time you see them, you put the camera on them, they showing impudent, shameless behavior. Very bold. Nothing like the women in the ancient world. So if people saw Yahweh Shai speak to this woman the way they saw him speak to her, instead of humbling down like they would have done it in the ancient world, they would have probably tried to come at Yahweh Shai. And Yahweh Shai would have probably had to, like when they tried to come for him and they asked for him and he said, "I am he," and they flew back, the Lord would have to, pull some weaves back, push some weaves back, if they try to roll up on him. All right. But it was a message being conveyed. This is why the Lord, said this to her, because he was testing to see if she was actually going to be, shameless, in which she wasn't. She was shamefaced. All right. She did the right thing in that moment, and the Lord was like, all right, so this is what happens next. It says, but he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to the dogs. And she said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from the master's table. That was a very humbling reply to Yahushai's statement. All right. When she improvised, the Spirit was on her. And the Lord used the very same expression in his parable about Lazarus and the rich man. All right. It says, then Yahushai answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. All right. That's all he needed to hear. All right. Your faith just sealed it. All right. You just won that. Your daughter's already healed. She's already taken care of. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. So the Lord was blameless in this situation. All right. He didn't call her a dog after that. He was just, testing her. He toyed with her. All right. And her faith was pure. And she showed humility and character. All right. A lot of women, especially modern women, they wouldn't have passed this test. And your daughter would have been left with them demons on her. All right. And you a demon too. The Lord would have cussed out a lot of you women, man. I'm talking about these women in this world, man. And you sisters, y'all know who they are. They all out there, man. But anyway, I just want to do a response to this. And this pastor, she's not fit to be a pastor. And really, she shouldn't even be on the pulpit anyway. But that's Christianity in a nutshell, man. It's just, total confusion. It's Christianity, man. That shit is just total anarchy, man. All right, you're an embarrassment. All right, you've been a big epic fail, and that's why a lot of people are leaving. They're not buying the BS anymore, man. All right, so just y'all might as well disband and just leave it to the prophets, man. The Lord's servants, the prophets. All right, because y'all don't have it. So anyway, I'm gonna just end it right there, and this is from the Christian Post. All right, and Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. To the next lesson, Shalom.